What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. So I want to talk to you guys about jellyroll's involvement in Summerslam of this year. And I looked online and a lot of people ain't too happy about this happening. They do not like that this is happening. So if you didn't know, as crazy as it sounds, the country singer Jellyroll, somebody save me, is joining forces, tag teaming with Randy Orton to face off Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. As crazy as that sounds, it is the truth. They even have a tag team name in what is it called? RK Roll, which I don't know how I feel about that. I just know it's way better than the Pure Fusion Collective. And the only reason why they even have that name is obvious, right? It's obvious for them to put on t-shirts and sell them at MetLife Stadium for the country/wrestling fans, which is smart marketing in my personal opinion, but that's neither here nor there. But I've seen people online not like this because either they don't like Jelly Roll, they don't care for Jelly Roll, which means they don't care for the match, or they don't like the idea of celebrities being involved in matches on big PLEs for so many different reasons. And I can understand their point. And on top of that, they have the right to have their opinion, so I'm never here to tell people what they should think. I mean, WWE doesn't pay me anything at all. I know because I've seen my bank account, so I wish they would, but they don't pay me anything at all. So I have no reason to defend them just to defend them, okay? But I will tell you guys exactly how I feel about this situation. Now, first and foremost, I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with Jelly Roll being in this match at all, right? First and foremost, Jelly Roll, he's not going to be in the main event in the show. And there's been 10 matches so far that's been announced, and he's only involved in one. So only 10% of your matches involve a celebrity, and even then, he's only 25% of that match, right? Or if you include Logan Paul, then that's 50%. But at least you got Randy and Drew McIntyre involved in that match overall. And from what I understand, it seems like he's taking this seriously. They've been saying that he's been training backstage with the likes of Undertaker and so many other people, and he's lost weight. Not saying that he lost weight for the match. So as far as this match goes, for all we know, he can do a really good job in this match. I don't know why. I feel like he's really going to take this seriously. Now, whether he does a good job or not, that has yet to be seen. But I feel like he's going to do the best that he can. He's not just coming in and doing a spot and then leaving out of there. He's not doing the ISO speed, which I don't have too much of a problem with that either. But this isn't that. Right? I like the fact when wrestlers come in and take it seriously, like a Bad Bunny or a Stephen Amell or so many other people. I like that. But speaking of Stephen Amell, I'm going to say something that you probably have heard over and over when it comes to these conversations of wrestlers having celebrities in their matches. And I'm going to run through it really quick because I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to move on to my next points. This has happened forever. This has been going on for a long time. I know that people like to point the finger at TKO and Triple H. I understand we need to have a big bad guy, and there's a lot of things you could point at them for. And yes, they have control over this. But this has been something happening in pro wrestling forever. Forever. We've had LT at WrestleMania. We have Dennis Rodman at WCW. We've seen Floyd Mayweather get involved in segments. We just saw Bad Bunny at Backlash. We see so many, Snooki being involved, so many celebrities being involved in wrestling matches. So this isn't just a TKO thing. This isn't a new thing. This has been happening forever. Forever, guys. Right? Now, whether you like it or not, that's a whole different conversation. But for the people acting like this is new, this is not a new thing. It isn't. And I know some people will make the argument, well, LT, Dennis Rodman, and Floyd Mayweather, they're considered the best in their respective sports, and they're athletes, so it makes all the sense in the world. It's different than having a reality star. It's different than having this person. But although their athleticism made them household name, LT, one of the, if not the greatest football players of all time. Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest rebounders of all time. Floyd Mayweather, considered one of the, if not the best boxer of all time, depending on what you like in boxing. What really got them over to WWE is their celebrity. If there weren't household names, they wouldn't be there. They don't have a Wally Zerbiak or Earl Boykins or whoever wrestling in wrestling matches. I'm showing my age, but these are people that weren't big names in their respective sports. You don't see them in the wrestling ring. You see people who have names. So regardless if they're an athlete or they're a reality star or they're a comedian like a Steve-O at WrestleMania, they're popular, or even a Jelly Roll here, or I Show Speed or whatever. Their popularity has gotten them to this point, and that's what they all have in common. It isn't about anything technical, right? And even if you say Stephen Amell, right? Even though he's pretty good in the ring, he's probably one of the best wrestlers that came out of a bunch of celebrities that were involved in WWE. But remember, when he had that match at SummerSlam in 2015, where he tag teamed with Neville, where he had Black Arrow and Green Arrow versus Wade Beard, and I forget who the fourth person was. It escapes my mind right now. It's early. But remember, he was at SummerSlam in 2015. In 2014, the TV show The Arrow, based upon the DC superhero Green Arrow, just came off of season 2, its biggest season at that point in time and the biggest show on CW at that time. So I don't think it's a coincidence that he ended up on SummerSlam the following year because of celebrity. It's about popularity. That's what happens. That's how it happens, right? So to me, this isn't anything new, and it's not that big of a deal. Now, I know that people would complain that, oh, well, he's taking opportunities from other people. Okay, I can understand that, but let's just talk about this first and foremost. We can always say what we would have done, but we don't know what WWE would have done. For all we know, this was going to be scheduled as a triple threat match between Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton. And then when they found out, oh, we got jellyroll, let's turn this into a tag team match. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe nobody's spot got stolen from that. Now, people in the locker room say something like that, I'm not going to argue with them because it makes no sense. That's just stupid to argue with them about that. But we as fans, we don't know. And we keep saying that. But when we have these PLEs that don't have celebrities involved, the wrestlers we want to see in the PLEs don't even get booked in there. When the last time we seen the SmackDown Tag Team Championships get defended on a PLE? What was that, Royal Rumble? When's the last time we seen Carmelo Hayes in a PLE? When's the last time we've seen all these other people? So even without celebrities, our favorite wrestlers aren't on these shows, so we don't know if these people are actually taking spots from other people. We don't really know that. So I can't argue for or against that at the end of the day, right? So the other thing I want to say is too, on top of that, is that we'll have people complain about celebrities being involved. And again, I'm not trying to go hard for Jelly Roll being in these matches. Again, I don't work for WWE. I don't care. But I'm trying to understand the mentality. Because we'll say, well, we don't want to see celebrities involved in these matches. We don't want to see it. Why not give people a chance? When we see people like Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch have a match before it even starts, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez before it starts, we'll have other matches before it starts. Oh, speaking of people who can't be on the show, we wouldn't even got Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn unless the AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio match would have got canceled at Night of Champions. So there's that. But the point that I was making before is that we'll complain about celebrities being in there and taking those spots, but for wrestlers who's actually on the roster, like I said, Lyra versus Becky Lynch, or Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley, or so many other people, what do we say? Oh, that's a bathroom break match. That's what people say. So which one do you care about? Right? We have people on there that are actually on the roster. Becky Lynch, a legend. Right? Rhea Ripley, the biggest woman star, regardless of how you feel about it. You're like, I don't care. I don't want to. That's a bathroom break match. I don't want that match, but don't give me an option. Don't give me the other option as well. And some people, if you feel like that you don't like either way, that's fine. And most people will say, why can't we just not get both? Why can't we get what we want? Because at the end of the day, we don't own WWE. That's what it boils down at the end of the day. We don't own WWE, so we can't control what matches they put on there. I know there's been changes because of outrage online, but that's few and far in between. R-Truth, the Yes Movements, and Cody Rhodes, as far as the fans changing anything that happens on the screen just for verbalizing their disdain about what they're doing, doesn't really change anything. It doesn't. And on top of that, if you don't like the fact that they have celebrities involved, because this is one of the most WWE things that WWE does, then why not go over to other promotions who showcase wrestling? Showcase not a parody of wrestling, not the celebrity of wrestling, just wrestling in itself, like an Aussie Wrestling, like an MLW, like a GCW, like a Fourth Rope, like a Ring of Honor, like so many other people, Reality of Wrestling. Why not support those places, right? Because we like to sit and complain about what WWE is doing, but we got all these other options. Like when I grew up, we had WCW, WWF, and we had ECW for some people. We only had 3 options. For most of us, it was really only 2 or 1. We got thousands of wrestling promotions that you can watch for free on YouTube, and yet people would decide to just watch a show they do not like and complain about it. I'm trying to understand that. But I do kind of understand it to a degree, because I think, and we got to be honest with this, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but a lot of content creators, they know They cannot make wrestling content with the traction that they're getting unless WWE's name is attached to it. They're not going to change their channel to a GCW channel. They're not going to change it to an MLW. I mean, some won't even change it to an AEW channel. As much as everybody was excited about going to All In and saying it was the best show in the world, there's a lot of those people that's not watching Dynamite. There's a lot of those people that's not watching Collision. That's not watching the other PLEs. So we got to be honest about this stuff. I'm not saying you got to like WWE, but if you don't, there's so many other options we could pick from that you can watch that doesn't do this, that doesn't have logos on the mat, that doesn't have logos on the chairs or whatever the case may be, which I personally think is kind of ridiculous. Slim Jim tables is pretty stupid, but there's other things out there, and even your local wrestling promotions who need help getting off the ground. Wrestlers who want to make that their full-time job so they won't have to wrestle on a Friday night and go to work on a Saturday morning, beat up and bruised because of the mat while they're doing their daytime job. So there's other options. Again, this is not me getting mad at people because they don't want to accept what's going on here with jellyroll. I'm just confused as to why people are pretending like this is new. Maybe some people who are content creators nowadays are younger. Maybe they haven't seen these things, so I can understand that part as well. Maybe people just don't like celebrities. I understand that part as well. But again, there's other options and other promotions and other wrestlers we can support who need our support, who need our dollars, who need us buying their merch that isn't WWE. But anyway, at the end of the day, for me, it's not a big deal to me. I will be going to SummerSlam. I'm interested to see how he does. And if he does a terrible job, then hey, cook him. It is what it is. Cook him. I'm not friends with jellyroll, but he seems like a good dude from what I understand. But let me know in the comment section how you guys feel. Do you want to see this happen? Do you not want to see this happen? Why? I would love to hear whether you agree or disagree with me. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Salute. Peace. Have a good one.